So here's the end splash that has to be finished off here, because this is in between walls, and I want to put this end splash on here to finish it out. And I always leave a little bit of a gap, so you can see there's about 1/8 of an inch gap, so that I don't have to scribe this thing to fit. So when I make these counters, or at least get them ordered, I order them just about 1/8 inch less than the actual opening, because then I'm expecting my loose laminate to fill up the rest. So how do you get this thing to work properly? Like, how do you pre-fit everything? How do you cut it? So I'm going to show you some simple steps on how to do that. So what you want to do is you want to mark this. So just right where that line is, where that countertop kind of ends, where it goes into the end splash, just mark a line right here. And then we're going to transfer that line. All right, just take your pencil and draw this line like that. Okay. And you want to go maybe about 2 inches, and that's as far as you need to go with that. And then you got to get the scissors and cut it. Okay, this is post-form laminate, so it cuts actually really easily. And just cut to that line. Just like so. Okay, and then cut the section out. And all you gotta do is snap it out like that. So that's what you're left with. So when you put that in, you want that to fit nice and tight into that corner. And I'll show you what that is. Right there, nice and tight. Okay, and at that point you can double check how it fits into the corner. And then along the wall. And this wall is nice and straight, so that's a real bonus at this point. So same thing here, you want to transfer a line underneath this. So I just take my pencil. All I want to do is just mark a line underneath here. Just like so. And it's just a matter of transferring it over. Just do that. Right there. See that line? And I want to cut that just a little bit longer than that line. About 1/16 of an inch. Like that. And that's it. So now I've got this thing to fit. And there's 2 ways to do this now, because there's an overhang. I'll show you how much overhang there is actually on this. Right there. So there's pretty close to about 1/2 inch of overhang on this. So there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can draw a line all the way down this length here, and then just take your scissors and cut it off. But I'm going to show you what I'm going to use, and it's a router, because I've done these so many times. I actually bought a specific tool to do it. But short of having a specific router for doing this, you can also cut it like this. Okay, and just cut it about 1/16 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch oversized on it. Okay, and just cut right down the line that you drew underneath. The material cuts pretty good. Like, if you're a little bit over, just don't be under. That's the biggest thing. You don't want to be under that line. Okay. If you're only doing 1 or 2 of these on a counter, you don't need that router that I have. But this is the quickest way to do it. And we're going to glue that on, and I'm going to show you how to trim it off by hand and a machine. Okay, so same thing on the cap end here. Just mark a line all the way up it, and then underneath as well. Just mark it off so that you can cut it off. There we go. And then trim along that line right there. There we go. Now this one, I want to make sure that I get this one exactly how it's supposed to go. I want to trim it flush with this outside edge here. So here, putting this thing on, you want to get it really close, because all I want to do is just finish that out with a file. And the better I can make this flush, the easier it is going to be with the file. So it's just a little bit up right there. So all I do is just flip that down. And then take a quick pass with a hand plane. And there we go, nice and flush. Then there's no chatter on it. And we know it's going to fit perfectly. Right, so I'm going to use a spray adhesive on this. And if you look, I put a little bit of tape just up to the top, but not over top of the edge of my end splash here. I put it all the way to the end, and anything that I can get glue on, I've just put tape on. And just there, I've just put it in place, but I haven't stuck it to the wall, just because I don't want to peel paint off. And what I did was, as well, is I licked part of the tape so that it wouldn't stick as much onto the wall. That way I know I'm not going to peel off anybody's paint. So, you just put this up against, and I'm using a 3M spray adhesive here. Okay, so it's an aerosol. It's a thinner base. It's not water-based, because I prefer to have this. It just tends to work better. Got just a chunk of plywood on the, or cardboard on the back here, and just spray. It's the first part of the can has always got so much pressure. Takes a few squirts just to get it out. Same thing on the end here. There, it's all set. Let that dry, and then I'll do the end pieces. Okay, so I just got this on a leftover box. And that's it. And I marked this one with a piece of tape right there, so I know what the top part of it is, because you could switch it around if, let's say, that that end splash was, off on the wall somehow, and you needed to specifically have a top and a bottom. I always just denote that with a little piece of tape. All right, so here's my end piece. Put it flush to the top, push it tight to the wall, and then up. And then before you do any position, just make sure that everything is nicely pushed tight. Okay, so that's down. I want to go all the way to the end, and here's where you don't want to make a mistake. You want to get that nice and flush, especially at that joint right there. And then lay this down. Okay. All I'm doing is just feathering it down to the end here. That's it. Okay, so hand plane. If I didn't have a router to do this, this is what I would be using. Now, this cutter, it's not very sharp right now, okay? And that's key. You don't want this thing super sharp, because the last thing I want to do is dig into this. So I've got tape on here now, just to give that little bit of protection. But basically, you can take this till it gets flush. Okay, and you want this thing just sharp enough that it'll take off the laminate, but not dig in. Okay, so I'm getting nice and close there. There we go. And you can see, as I get a little closer, you can see it just touching the paper. that. Okay, so I can just keep going and using this, or I can use something a little different. So this is what I'm going to be using. It's an offset router. The router motor goes into here and it's belt driven and it runs onto this little shaft, and I've got a solid end trimmer on here with just a slight bevel on it. But this needs to run against something that's got a little bit of a cushion, so that's why I'm using the tape on there. There we go. So everything's nice and flush. Okay, and this part I couldn't do because it was right at the switch plate cover here, so I'll just do that with a hand plane quickly. And then it's left for filing. Okay, so put your file down onto it. And just a slight angle on it, and you'll feel it just touching the top of the laminate here and the surface on the other side here. Now, if you've got some like let's say a high gloss or something, put a piece of tape on there. This one's got a pebble finish on it, so it's not an issue. But I just go across the top until I feel that it's flush. And then you can turn your file, and all you're going to do is just roll the edge just slightly. Okay, and you can see I've been peeling up just a little bit of material here, just enough to get it to just roll over, and then it should feel nice all the way across. And that's it. Just clean up with a bit of thinners, and it's good to go. So there you have it. Nice and tight all the way across the wall and down and on the cap front there. Should take about no more than 10-15 minutes.